Welcome to part 11 of my out-of-print DVD collection. Again, I'd like to state that it's only these particular versions that are out of print. First up, we have The Quiet Earth. It's a post-apocalyptic movie from New Zealand. It's from the mid-80s, early mid-80s, I think. It's three people. They wake up and it seems like they're the only people left on the planet, or at least in the country. Coincidentally, they run into each other, two men and a woman. Obviously, there's going to be some romantic triangles involved. It's kind of, I think it's more of an intellectual post-apocalyptic movie. I still don't get the ending. For those of you who have seen this movie, I guess you'll understand what I mean, or what I'm referring to. I liked it. I've often had a fantasy about what I'd do in an unpopulated world. Then we have Nightmare City. It's an Italian zombie movie. One of the very few Italian zombie movies that I actually enjoy. It's not a good movie. The makeup's pretty bad, the acting's pretty bad, everything about it is pretty bad. But for some reason, I like it. A plane lands in the city, out pops a bunch of zombies, and you know the rest. Then we have Stephen King's Children of the Corn. This is to me it's a classic. It was pretty controversial, I think, when it came out, because, it involved children killing everybody, all the adults in town. They're being coerced or led by some kind of demonic presence that's in the cornfield. Most of you, any of you horror fans, you'll know all about this movie. They've done a ton of bad sequels. They even did a remake, which I haven't seen. I don't think I will. But Linda Hamilton is in this, the original Sarah Connor from the Terminator franchise. There's also Courtney Gaines, the weird redheaded kid. He's the one that says, "We have your woman, Outlander." He was in the original Can't Buy Me Love, not the Nick Cannon junk. He was the friend of the main character who he says, "You shit on my house, man. You shit on my house." But yeah, Children of the Corn. Pretty classic 80s horror movie. After that, we have another post-apocalyptic movie. This one's the Omega Man. Nah, screw it. It's based on the Richard Matheson novel, I Am Legend. This is also, I guess, I wouldn't say a remake, but Vincent Price did a movie called The Last Man on Earth, which is probably my favorite version of it. The Will Smith one, I didn't care for. I like this one, the Charlton Heston one. It's a very 70s movie. But I like my post-apocalyptic stuff. I mean, most of you know the story, so I'm not really going to go into it. Then we have 13 Ghosts. This is a remake of, I believe, a movie from the 50s. A William Castle movie. He made movies with gimmicks in the theaters. Shocking seats, skeletons flying through the crowd on wires. Very corny stuff. But this one has Tony Shalhoub, Shannon Elizabeth, Rod Digger, Matthew Lillard. I liked it. I don't think it did pretty well. I don't think it's a very popular movie. But I kind of like the idea of all the different ghosts. But yeah, Tony Shalhoub inherits a house from his uncle. His uncle's evil guy, messing around with trapping ghosts, and Tony Shalhoub and his family get hunted after they move in. I liked it. Then we have Solarbabies. How can I describe this movie? First off, I'd like to say that I like it, but mainly for sentimental reasons. I had a crush on Jamie Gertz back in the day, and I pretty much watched anything she was in, including this gem. It's another futuristic or post-apocalyptic type of sorry about this, but there's a water shortage. A giant corporation pretty much runs the planet, and they take people's children and put them into work camps. The kids find a magic sphere, an orb, I guess an alien, I don't know what it is, but it has healing powers, and it's supposed to, I guess, heal the planet, thereby eliminating the need for the corporation. So it's these kids running away from people trying to kill them or gain control of the orb. It's pretty awful. And for a wasteland, a post-apocalyptic wasteland, there's a lot of smooth surfaces for these kids to skate on. But yeah, I pretty much like it only because Jamie Gertz is in it. I had a big crush on her way back when. Killer Tongue. Parasite invades a woman's body, turns her tongue into a weapon. It's sort of not quite an art school horror movie, but it's not your typical horror movie. I can't recommend this one. If you get a chance to see it, maybe see it if you got nothing else to watch. I didn't much care for it. I mean, Freddy Krueger's in this, Robert Englund, but I don't even remember what he played in this. But yeah, Killer Tongue. Glory. This is, I don't know if it's a fictional account, but it's based on the first black regiment to fight in the Civil War. When they first let black men into the military during the Civil War, they didn't arm them, they didn't allow them to fight. So this is the account, or I guess a loose account, of the first black regiment that was given the opportunity to fight. Stars very good actors. You can see Denzel, Morgan Freeman, Matthew Broderick on the cover. I like my Civil War movies. I like this one. Next is Death Race 2000. It's a pretty famous, one of Roger Corman's bigger or more famous movies. It stars David Carradine, Stallone has a part in this. Mary Warrenoff, she was in Eating Raoul. She was one of the scientists in Night of the Comet, in that underground bunker. It's a future dystopia. The government puts on this race to entertain its people. Basically, they go around in custom cars, running people over for points. Very entertaining. It's actually a pretty smart movie when you look through the layers. There's a lot of political commentary in this movie. Very good, definitely very entertaining. I can't recommend this one enough. I also have the Blu-ray for this. Finally, we have Kids, a film by Larry Clark. The stuff Larry Clark does, some of it is pornographic. I mean, it's explicit, full frontal sex. I think Ken Park has explicit sex in it. But yeah, this is a pretty bleak and pessimistic view on kids in the 90s in New York City. They go around doing drugs, raping girls, spreading AIDS, beating up people in the park. You wouldn't want to run across these kids, and you wouldn't want your kids hanging out with these ones. It was a pretty controversial movie when it came out. It's definitely for mature audiences. It's Rosario Dawson's first movie. And I believe it's Chloe Sevigny's first movie. If you're not sure who that is, she gave the on-screen blowjob in The Brown Bunny. I believe the director was Vincent Gallo. He was the guy that wished cancer on Roger Ebert. Although I think he wished testicular cancer on Roger Ebert, but Roger Ebert got like cancer of the mouth or the throat. But yeah, kids, this movie has a reputation. A lot of you should know about this one if you're into movies. But that's part 11 of my out-of-print DVD collection. Stay tuned for part 12.